Salvete omnes. This is exercise C of the third and 3rd-io conjugation start of the review packet. Exercise C, we are to translate these English verb phrases into Latin verbs. These verbs come from the 3rd and 3rd-io conjugations. So we shall accomplish, we shall accomplish. This is the first person plural future active indicative of conficio, conficere, confeci, confectus. So if it's future, we want the present stem, confici, first principal part minus the O, confici, and then add the amos from es, et, amos, etis, ent. So conficiemos, conficiemos. He was beginning, third person singular, imperfect, active, indicative of incipio, incipere, incapi, incaptus. Present stem is incipi, first principal part minus the O, incipi, add the E, and then the ba, and then the T, incipiebat, incipiebat. They have fled, they have fled, they already did it, it is done. So perfect tense, third person plural, perfect active indicative of fugio, fugere, fugi, with a macron over the U, fugitus. So that third principal part, fugi, macron over the U, fugi. Chop off the I, we get fug, and then add erunt, third person plural erunt. I isti it, imus istis erunt. Fugerunt, fugerunt. They desire is third person plural present active indicative of cupio, cupere, cupivi, cupitus. So present stem is cupi, chop the O off the first principal part, cupi, add UNT because it's present tense. They desire, they are desiring. Cupiunt, cupiunt. It has been hurled, it has been hurled. Third person singular, perfect passive indicative, and it is neuter gender, it, of not just yakio, but conicio, conicere, conieci, coniectus. So it has been hurled, perfect passive, coniectum, it's coniectum, because it's neuter gender, and then the helping verb for the perfect passive is the present of sum. So coniectum est. Conjectum est. They will take, they will take. So we want the third person plural future active indicative of capio, capere, capi, captus. So the present stem is copy, first principal part, chop off the O, copy, and then add es, et, amos, etis, ent, copient, copient. I am left behind. I am being left behind. We want the first person singular, present passive indicative of relinquo, relinquere, reliqui, relictus. I am left behind. First person singular, relinquo, and then we add the r, the R for the first person singular present passive. Relinquor, relinquor. You will be led back. You will be led back. We want the second person singular future passive of reduco, reducere, reduxi, reductus. So you will be led back. The present stem is reduc. First principal part, chop off the O, reduc. And you will be led back. So we want eris, E-R-I-S. There is a macron over that E. Reduceris. Reduceris. If there were no macron over that E and it were reduceris, reduceris, that would be the present passive. You are being led back. The future is reduceris with a macron over the E. And that means you will be led back. It will have been managed. It will have been managed. The third person singular, future perfect passive of gero, gerere, gessi, gestus. So gestum, fourth principal part with a neuter ending, gestum, and then will have been managed. We want the third person singular future of sum as the helping verb, eret. Gestum eret. Gestum eret. They have been collected. They have been collected. We want the third person plural, perfect passive, indicative, of kogo, kogare, koegi, coactus, cum ago, to drive together, collect, gather. So they have been, perfect passive. So fourth principal part, so coactus, make it plural, and because a gender is not really specified, go ahead and make it masculine, because masculine tends to be the dominant gender in a sexist language like Latin. Conjecti sunt. Coacti sunt. Coacti sunt. They will be placed. So the third person plural, future passive indicative of pono, ponere, posui, positus. So first principal part, pon, P-O-N, chop off the O to get to the present stem, pon, present stem, and then add ar, eris, etor, emor, emini, entor, the future passive, entor, third plural. So ponentur, ponentur. I shall be conquered. I shall be conquered. No bor beris bitor here, because if we're using winko, winkere, wiki, weektus for conquer, that's a third conjugation. Does not use bo bis bit or bor beris bitor. But I shall be conquered. First person singular, future passive indicative. So winkar, winkar. Ar, eris, etor, em or emini, entor. Those are the future passive endings for the third-io conjugations. You have departed. You have departed. So to depart is discedo or excedo, and it's second person singular perfect active. So discessisti or excessisti. We want the third principal part, discessi or excessi, chop off the I and add isti. E istiit imus istis erunt, because it's second person singular perfect active. She has stood up. She has stood up. Surgo, surgere, surrexi, surrectus. She has done this. Third person singular perfect active. She has done this. She did do it. Surrexit, surrexit. He is being driven. He is being driven. We have ago, agere, egi, actus. He is being driven right now. The present stem is ag, ag. Chop the O off the first principal part to get the present stem ag, and then add itur, itur, itiur, agitur, agitur. It is happening to him right now. We shall not leave. We shall not leave. So once again, we have a verb of leaving, discedo or excedo, and we shall not do this. First person, plural, future, active. So no bobus bit here, but esset amus etisent. Non discedemus, non excedemus. We shall not do this. They were being led. The being is important, Ben. Third person plural imperfect passive indicative of duco, ducere, duxi, ductus, with the present stem being duke, D-U-C. From the first principal part, chop off the O, duke. Add the E before the ba, duke, ba, and then the unt for they were being led, and it's untor for passive. Duke bantur, duke bantur. And then we have sent. We have sent is first person plural. It's perfect because it's already been done. It happened in the past. Active and indicative of mitto, mittere, misi, one S, misus, double S. So it's mis, perfect stem is mis, third principal part, chop off the I, mis. And we have done this, first person plural. I istiit, imus istis erunt, missimus, missimus. Optime, very well done. That wraps it up for exercise C.